Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. You might think at some place that there would be a meeting of that which would be the entities who channel to you, for you, with you. You've just heard from Alcazar. This is an extension of what he presents. This is a time when you truly move from the unconscious to the conscious. It is a time where the metaphor of things that vibrate higher is at hand. He also mentioned that you carry with you the seeds of star stuff. Indeed, you did not come from what is here on this planet, dear ones. You did not evolve from the animals you were told you evolved from. Not entirely. For that DNA that even Alcazar speaks of had intentional alteration for you to be the human that you are, carrying the seeds of the stars that you do. All of these things could be what we would call eye-rolling to many. And yet your science is starting to examine the attributes of that which you are supposed to evolve from. And they're coming up empty-handed. They're saying that your evolution was too quick to have actually happened. That your DNA is different from anything that you've been told you came from. And so it begins, a revelation that indeed will become common knowledge at some time. But here's the big issue. Right now, dear ones, on this planet, there is the ability for many to move dimensionally. Regular old souls, not necessarily channelers, or those who would necessarily have meditated for years to become a higher vibration, but an energy that is occurring on the planet that allows anyone who wishes to have an awakening that may have taken many, many lifetimes, but perhaps they're even new. An energy that honors the old soul, for they will be the first ones to participate in a dimensional shift. But the others have that ability they always have. That's the star stuff, dear ones. There is an actual enablement of consciousness going on. This is commensurate with the shift. It is everything we told you the shift would be. It has to start somewhere. It starts now. It's actually started some time ago. That human beings were starting to realize and recognize things they never had before. And the first ones to do so would be the ones who perhaps are even listening to this or watching this, either live or what you call later. Alcazar mentioned also there is no later. That is to say that whatever energies are taught and felt at this moment from my partner in the chair is just as powerful 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even a week from now, doesn't matter. Because multidimensionality is that way. It does not deteriorate with time. It is just as present in the future as it is at this second. So if you are hearing this in your now, know that it's also my now. Hard to explain, but that's the way it works. You are starting to open an awareness portal that literally is able to move you dimensionally. Kryon, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'm going to travel someplace. You are going to travel someplace if you choose to, and that is consciousness. Alcazar calls it superconsciousness. That would be a consciousness which is above that which you assume is everything. You're looking up into a higher dimensional consciousness which is going to allow you to see things that you never saw before. An alliance, perhaps, with the biggest multidimensional, most divine thing possible, your soul, your Akash, your cellular structure, your very DNA. I told my partner some months ago there would be a new direction for Kryon. He was sitting in this very chair. He was in what they call a live stream. There were many watching. I did that on purpose so that he had no choice but to act in a way that was appropriate rather than to shelve it, as he says, if I had told him privately. That is who he is, and we know that. And so in front of many, I told him that he would be now assisting humanity in whatever size groups wanted to come in moving into another dimension. That particular dimension would expose them to their own magnificence. That other dimension would let them walk into places in their own soul energy that they had never walked before. And in doing that, it would expose, indeed, the grandeur of who they were. Expose them to a system that they could access, which could mute that which is their fear, which could take away inappropriatenesses in their Akashic record, which could then talk to the cellular body and create perhaps even spontaneous remission, all of those things which the masters did. That is where you're going. We told you this long ago, and here it is. I told him to set up weekly meetings, one of which had to be free for the planet, to take you to that place if you choose, on a regular basis, to expose that, to go across the bridge, as I say, into a place where you can then sit and watch majestic things unfold and realize it's you. So I want to do something now that is similar. In 2 days, I will give you a sample of what going across the bridge looks like. But right now, I want you to close your eyes. There's no reason to watch the figure on the screen. I want to take you someplace. I want to expose something for you. You may see what's going to happen is impossible. Let me just tell you this story. See it perhaps as a movie if you wish. But this is a movie of what is coming and what is available and how profound it might be. I want you to just relax for a moment and come closer. Come closer. I want you to feel peaceful. Feel peaceful, dear ones. If it's within that which you will choose to do, come with me to a magic place. It's a very large room, dear ones. And as you enter this room, you feel the power and the majesty of it. To some, it'll feel like a museum, but it isn't. It's quite well lit and very colorful, but it's filled with statues. And the statues are all on pedestals. Now, this is a metaphor. And in a moment, you'll see what it is. You have entered your superconsciousness. You have entered a place that you've never actually been to before, not like this, not like this. Here is the question I ask you before we even continue. Are you ready? If you carry around the Akashic record of your past lives, how real can it manifest itself? How real can it manifest itself? Or does it hide from you in a dimension you cannot access? Or can you? You're in this magic room, beautiful, peaceful. And you see the many statues, and you don't really understand what they are until one of them moves. Almost like it's become a spotlight on the statue. It moves, and the statue completely turns into a life form. And the one on the statue, either man or woman, literally gets off of the pedestal and turns into full color. And you're not afraid because you recognize somehow the affinity with this one. They reach out and ask you to take their hand, and you do. Because there's no danger here. It's very safe. Feels like you. I mean, it feels so comfortable. And you look into the eyes of this individual, man or woman, and they give their name. They say, I am, and I am you. And they start to tell you about the fact that it represents you in a past life. You've just met a past life. You, your soul is filled with this. Beautiful, beautiful individuals, all young, dear ones. Every single statue, one of youth and strength and beauty, and they get to tell you what they've been through. But more than that, they start giving you advice. Here's what you learned in this lifetime that I want to tell you, they'll say. And you listen intently. I want to tell you this, I want to tell you this. And they give you wisdom about that lifetime, and then they return to the pedestal. And you move to the next one, and it lights up, and they turn into color, and they get off and hold your hand and look into your eyes, and they say, come closer. Here's one I want to tell you. We learned from this lifetime. I am you, you are me. We learned this together. I'm in your soul, you are in mine. And statue after statue after statue, it doesn't matter how long it takes, it starts to fill you up. And you realize just how big you are and how long you've lived on the earth and the plan that's here, and you're in a dimension that belongs to you you never saw before. Oh, what a place, this Akashic record of yours. Can you imagine such a thing? That's you expanding to see the system, to know how it works, to start making sense of it, to see the growth where everyone tells you what they've learned and their wisdom, and you can see what you've been through in order to make you you today. Now let's stop this vision for a moment. And I want everything to go dark. Keep your eyes closed, take a breath. Now I want you to envision the same room. And I want you to envision that you are a statue. Yes, you've passed over. Yes, you've gone through what is called death, and there you are in that room. And the door opens, and in comes a beautiful soul. Gender doesn't make a difference, young, strong. And in that soul, the first statue they come to, and they walk right up and look at you, and you get off the statue, and now you're about ready to tell your next life who you are, what you've been through, and the wisdom that you've gleaned. And it goes on and on. You are in a super consciousness place that is beautiful and filled with truth, for this is the way it works. And you become wiser and wiser with each incarnation because of this process that has always been there, but not as real as I just gave it to you. Is it real, or is it a vision? Multidimensionality is that way, for you live in 4, and there's hundreds of dimensions. What is real and what is not? You live in a simple one. But dear ones, you're in all of them. It's your choice to move into that which is above what you know. I just gave you a real scenario that can happen even this day. Some of you will have the dreams tonight because we've just tickled a portion of your consciousness that says, take a look, take a look, take a look. This is real, it can happen. Even at a lower level, there are those who can talk to you who have been you on this planet and give you information and take away that idea that you're nothing or by accident, and you're not. Magnificent you are in every way. Here on purpose. You are many. You are many. Old soul. I'll be back. And so it is.